to summon the chairman and commissioners, the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission (RSIEC) to appear for the House. Mr. Speaker, you will recall that last year, when the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission proposed to conduct elections, this House, via a resolution, wrote to the Commission, advising the Commission of the risk of carrying out an election.
Distinguished colleagues, those for 25, against nil, abstention nil. By this voting, honorable members, this House has therefore resolved that the clerk of the House should immediately forward a letter to the chairman of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission asking him to appear before this August Assembly on Friday, the 7th of March 2025 at 10 a.m. to answer questions pertaining to their conduct in office, to explain to this August Assembly how they have been spending funds belonging to these states without approval of this August Assembly, what they did with the funds given to them in the year 2024, which they spent in the ill-fated 5th October 2024 local government elections, and why they are still spending funds in the year 2025 without an appropriation law, and planning to conduct another election without approval, without any budget. So this is the position of the House, and when the chairman and the commissioners appear before us, we will know the next step to take. And by resolution of this House, the clerk will include in the letter that if the chairman and the commissioners fail to appear before this August Assembly, the House will be left with no other option but to invoke its powers vested in us in Section 129 of the 1999 Constitution to issue a warrant of arrest to compel them to appear before this August Assembly. Thank you. Clerk, what next do we have on the other paper? From 1st January 2024 to date, but this commission has gone ahead on a spending spree, spending billions of taxpayers' money on their own. The governor has been releasing money to them without an appropriation, without approval. As it stands today, the Rivers House of Assembly does not know the amount of money that has been sent to this commission, or what they spent, or what they spend the money on. They are just freelancers. And as at the last time I checked the records, the chairman of this commission is a retired judge of the Rivers High Court. And we believe that he is supposed to know more about laws of Rivers State and the Constitution. Sadly enough, he's acting in a manner that calls for serious scrutiny. We must scrutinize what is going on in this commission. And while the House just sat on Monday to begin to deliberate on how to commence the amendment of the Rivers State Local Government Law and the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission Law, so that these two laws can be in tandem with the Electoral Act. We serve the resolution to the governor and to the commission chairman. It's published in national dailies. Everybody is aware. And the response this chairman can do is to summon a meeting today to commence the process, neglecting the position of this House that there is need for us to review our laws so that they can be in tandem with the Electoral Act, so that all that were problems that made the Supreme Court to nullify the election will not happen again. We think that this commission chairman and his commissioners and members are out to bring Rivers State to disrepute. We have turned out to be a laughing stock in the Committee of States, that elections will be conducted and nullified by the Supreme Court. The same thing they did before, they have started again. Honorable members, I want to thank the mover of this motion and members for their contributions, and to say that the prayers of this particular motion are germane, and there is need for us to go by the prayers, particularly the prayer that is calling on this house to invite the chairman of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission and his commissioners to appear before this August assembly so that they can explain to the house how they went about an election that was finally nullified by the Supreme Court, where they got funds, who approved funds for them to spend, and who has approved funds for them to spend again for the next election they are planning to conduct without this assembly, without asking for approval for funds. They need to come and explain to us, explain to Rivers people. Fair hearing is important, and we must give them that opportunity. And that is why that particular prayer is the key prayer, and I think we need to adopt that prayer, which is to invite them. The mover of the motion did not specify a date, or did you do so? But I think on Friday, 7th of March, 2 days from now, which is 48 hours from now, will be sufficient. So when the commission chairman and the commissioners are before us, they should be able to tell us what they are doing. They didn't appoint themselves there. They are not serving themselves. They are not bigger than the constitution and the laws of Rivers State. They must be subjected to our constitution and to our laws. And so they must appear before the Rivers people and explain what they are doing, what they have done with our funds, and what they are planning to do with our funds. And I think Friday must be the best date for now, so that we can ask the clerk of the house to immediately forward a letter of invitation to the chairman to come with all the commissioners and all relevant documents that will show us how they got funds for the last election that they threw away to the wind, and what really transpired last year about the 5th October 2024 local government elections that has now been nullified by the apex courts in the land. So those in favor of the prayers as moved by Honorable Enemy Alabo George and amended to include that they appear before this house on the 7th of March 2025 should indicate by raising their hands.